Hello and welcome to Nintendo Everything. I'm Easy and today I want to talk to you about the latest Smash Brothers Direct, which I think Nintendo really smashed out the park. It was really amazing, and this is coming from someone who's not actually a massive Smash Brothers fan. Well, you know what? I am a big Smash Brothers fan. I'm just more of an old school fan. I haven't played enough of the recent games, so I find I'm not that person who's going to be really in depth about everything that's really changed because I haven't played enough of the latest games to really tell that. My memories is more from playing 64 with my cousins. They would come up and then we'll just play throughout the entire night when we had a sleepover. And then we went on to Melee, and I think Melee was kind of going through that generation for the GameCube where I played a lot of single player games, a lot of long RPGs, and when I wasn't doing that, I was just playing even Mario Party. I'd play a lot of that just by myself. And so, that sounds really depressing. But Super Smash Bros. Is still one of those series that really hooked me and I really like. And I think the main reason I really like it is for what it did for me when I was younger. You see, Smash Bros. Is one of those series that introduces you to new games. Well, it was for me anyway. So, I didn't know anything about Fire Emblem. I didn't know anything about... probably even Metroid at this stage. There's a lot of games that I didn't even know about back when I was playing these games on the 64. And then it introduced me into these other franchises, and it's done that as it's gone up and up in the years. So I think perhaps the most exciting thing for this latest Smash, having such a massive roster of characters now, is that not just for adults like us who love battling it out in Smash, but for kids who are going to be playing this game, they're going to be getting into this and they're going to be learning a whole bunch of new franchises. And it creates these people or these kids mostly, who will be new to Nintendo. Maybe they play the odd Mario game or the odd Donkey Kong game and don't really understand all these franchises. And it turns these people into Nintendo fans because all of a sudden they're like, I recognize that character. I played them in Smash. You know, that's Samus. I played her in Smash. Or even that's Fire Emblem, or that's Donkey Kong, or that's Castlevania, or any of these other franchises. They start to recognize them, and when these games come out, they have an affiliation with them, and so they might pick them up when they come out. And that's kind of why Smash Brothers, it's a big selling game, but it doesn't just sell big in the amount of copies that it sells big for Nintendo. Anyway, that's nothing about the Nintendo Direct. Let's go on to what I thought of the Nintendo Direct that happened. So the reason that I kind of think this was such a good Direct is because Directs are really meant to do two things, or anything like this is meant to do two things. It's either meant to sell you on the game if you're not going to buy it yet, or it's meant to excite you for the game if you are going to buy it. And for this, it kind of, I was already sold on the game, let's face it. I'm a Nintendo fan, I'm kind of going to buy this game anyway. But it certainly got me more excited. And for people who weren't already sold in this game, I don't think anything's going to sell you on this game unless it's some sort of single player mode that you're waiting for. And I think the main reason this Direct kind of nailed what it was going for is the way that it started and the way that it finished. As silly as that sounds, as a video content maker, or even if you're a writer, your objective when someone starts viewing or reading your content is to grab them right from the start and then finish on a high as well. That way, right from the start, you've got them, and then when they get through to the end, they leave on a high. And that's exactly what this Direct did. It started off with this great trailer showing off the Belmonts, which, oh my god, the Belmonts. I'm not one of those people that kind of has been following a lot of the pre-Direct stuff. I was quite busy before the Direct actually came out, so I didn't hear all these people talking about, oh, Belmont, we already know about Belmont being announced. I had no idea. So this trailer for me was just kind of like, whoa, Belmonts. And they announced it in the most fantastical way by literally ripping Luigi's soul from his body. That's magical in a kind of disturbing way. I don't even know what Luigi was doing in the mansion in the first place. Maybe he's the mansion castle. Maybe he's the castle cleaner. He was just doing the vacuuming rounds and all of a sudden everything started to come to life on him. But this Smash Brothers universe, the way they announce characters is just fantastic. And as well as the ending, King K. Rool. I was actually talking to some friends before the Direct actually came up, and one of the mentioned characters was King K. Rool, and I said, you know what, I don't actually think I would care that much about King K. Rool. I love Donkey Kong Country, and I have real nostalgia for that series. But King K. Rool was kind of oh, I don't really care. And then that music started with King K. Rool's music, and oh, it's just sold. And the music actually does something really magical, because what it does is what it did in the original version as well. It starts off as just the music, and then as it gets towards the end of the boss battle, or the end of the trailer here, the music actually speeds up to be the sped up version of it. And it's just... it brought back so many happy memories for me. Or frustrating if you think about the boss fight. And then we get into the meat and bones of this Direct. And this is where it really executed a lot better than the E3 Direct that we saw beforehand. Because that one the details felt very scattered. They're all over the place. Like one minute we're learning about Olimar's helmet cracking, and the next minute we're onto a character, and then we're onto the echoes, and then we're onto like going through all the characters in an unordered list. It was just so scattered that I found it hard to keep up. And with the center of this one was like, all right, here's your levels, and now here's your music, and now here's like the new echo characters, and it was all very well structured that I didn't feel bored and like they were just going through some list. Yet I was kind of knew everything that was going on, so I was able to retain a lot of this information as I left it. These two new Echo characters really got me excited as well. I mean, one of them is kind of like just another Fire Emblem character, so I don't really care about that too much. But announcing Dark Summers, and again having that music that just, God, the nostalgia that comes along with that music, introducing Dark Summers, was just fantastic, and I was completely on board for that. Then we also saw Rathalos from Monster Hunter kind of jump in on the action. I mean, he's kind of become the town bike, I guess, of franchises now, since he's getting into everything. But it was nice to see him come in there and stay true to his original kind of look and his moveset and everything like that. Not that I'm a massive Monster Hunter fan, but it still was really cool. I want to talk about the music here as well, because the music for me has never been a real big thing when thinking about Smash Brothers when I'm actually playing the game, because I'm generally so focused on the game that the music is there in the background. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not really thinking about it. And Smash Brothers is so hectic, you're constantly having to think about what's going on. You don't have time to really sit there and enjoy the music. But the way I enjoy Smash Brothers music is out of Smash Brothers. And now the fact that I can just plug a pair of headphones and put my Switch into sleep mode and listen to it anytime, that's kind of sold me on that. I really like that idea, and I think that's probably one of the smartest moves they've made here. So we got this massive list of music and characters, obviously, but we also got this massive list of levels now. And I love that there's so many levels in here and so many returning ones. Plus, I mean, as I said before, the 64 is kind of where my nostalgia's at, so the fact that they kind of left them intact the way they were, I really kind of like that idea. Additionally, not stuff that I really care about, but we got a lot of stuff like the main menus have been fixed, which is great. I mean, again, I wasn't someone who heavily criticised the menus, but there's no doubt they could have been improved. Then we also got a bunch of things that I just know Smash veterans are going to really dig, like all these new versus modes to kind of customize your gameplay, as far as like either having 5v5 with one character go at a time, or the big list of characters that slowly gets knocked out. I think that's really cool. The training mode that helps you kind of get more precise with your character about how far things are hitting and all of that. I'm sure those people are going to love that. And even every stage having its own Omega and Battlefield form, I'm sure like that's heavily requested and something that's really great. But for me, like, I'm just more of that casual fan, so the fact that we've just got this huge amount of items and all this kind of stuff going on, it just means that this is probably going to be one of those games that I'm definitely going to have to get more into than I did with the previous one. Like, I really enjoyed the Wii U one, I just didn't put enough hours into it, and maybe I'd like to say that a single player content would do that for me, but I'm not 100% sure at this stage, because I just don't see them doing a substantial enough single player mode with all this other stuff they've put in. Like, there's only so many hours they can put in the day into making this, so trying to make some sort of subspace emissary mode into this new game might be asking a bit too much. Although I am really interested to see what everyone's calling spirits, but that blurred out icon down the bottom left actually is on the main menu. So as some final thoughts before I go, I guess there's a lot of talk going on at the moment about preserving old games. And although this isn't really preserving an old game, this to me is the closest thing that we're getting to just grabbing all those old games together and giving us a place to kind of remember them. Like, there's no other game where you can just grab so many different franchises and stuff them into this machine and just pop out so much nostalgia all at once. It's really a fantastic thing. And it's something that like I said, I didn't get into the previous games as much as I probably should have, but it's something that I have just so much respect for. The last thing we learned in the Direct is that there's going to be more characters coming. So I guess my question to you guys today is, what characters would you like to see? I mean, if I'm going to go one that would never happen that I would love to see, it would definitely be, for me, Mr. Drippy from Ni no Kuni. And if I'm going to the ones that possibly more likely to actually see, maybe the Raving Rabbids characters, I would like to either see Rayman or the Rabbids characters out of them kind of come into it. Or even like Dragon Quest, let that have some representation. Maybe throw the Slime in there from that, because Slime is such a good boy. Anyway guys, as always, thank you for watching. Remember, like button, subscribe button, you do you. And for everything Nintendo, stay tuned to Nintendo Everything.